What's up, guys? Welcome to Ask Mike. We're probably going to change it to Ask Dolce, but the image that we had says Ask Mike, so you're going to ask Mike. Yesterday, what I did, I put a shout out on our YouTube channel saying that I was going to do a Q&A. I was going to answer every question asked of me. My God, what will they be? I never said I was going to give honest answers, and in fact, I said the answers I give probably won't even be honest or won't even be useful. They're going to be garbage. So I'm going to give you a bunch of garbage answers maybe. Actually, I'll try and do my best to give you legitimate answers. But this is from our YouTube channel. You all should be following our YouTube channel. If you're watching and listening on YouTube, then you already are. But if you are watching or listening on our podcast, then you guys should be. Subscribe. Let's get straight to it. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just going to answer these questions as they came in. And we'll see what happens from here. I haven't reviewed these questions yet, so let's see. Amaru2 says, hey, Mike, what's the best strength and conditioning program for an MMA fighter who's training for his first amateur fight, and how often and how long should an amateur train MMA and S&C per week? Thanks for doing a Q&A and sharing your knowledge with us. Wow. Good. Amaru, thank you. I appreciate it. That's a lot of questions. I'll do my best. Best strength and conditioning program typically is twice a week. I like one power day and one conditioning day. Power should be more focused on explosive work. Conditioning should be agility, mobility, metabolic conditioning, and such. We should always be focused on balancing out any imbalances. They could be muscular imbalances. That could be prehabbing certain areas that are prone to injury or have been injured, prehab/rehab. And for its amateur fight, well, I'm going to wish you good luck and make sure that your skills are up to par. I think the most important thing for the amateurs is skills, repetition, tens of thousands of repetitions in individual movements and modalities. Mikhail Olander says, sup, Mike? What's your thoughts on the use of creatine on building muscle and melatonin supplements? Well, creatine does work extremely well. I've used it before, and we will continue to use it and suggest it. The science supports it. Also, there is anecdotal evidence that does support it. That being said, I don't like using creatine any more than 3 weeks at a time and never closer than 3 months in between because the body does build up a tolerance and there is a bit of a plateau. I don't like any external supplements, truly. So what we want to use that just for a little bit of a bump to peak out at the end for a photo shoot, for a competition, but not a weight class oriented competition. And melatonin supplements, I have seen positive results on some, but I do see a downside. There becomes a dependency in that many people cannot fall asleep without them. So what we try and do is we try and suggest lifestyle methodologies in order to develop a proper sleep pattern. P.S. I would love to see you talking again on the Joe Rogan Experience. Oh, I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you. Actually, I'm a 2-time guest on the Joe Rogan Experience, which is awesome. It is an honor, and I would love to sit down with Mr. Rogan once again. It is time, I believe. So much information to share. Hey, Wasif says, hey, what should I do to burn off belly and side fat? We talk about lists, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity performed while fasted. I actually did a whole video on this on the YouTube channel. I suggest you check it out. Wasif. Jabib says, hey, Mike, hope you're well. Can you please give us a good training program to build a hardcore back? Again, on YouTube, I did a video called Long Row, Short Row. Check out the long rows and short rows. You can perform those with dumbbells and barbells. It is a great back burner. Also, I just did a video on chin-ups. Those are the two things. And what does the back do? We pull horizontally and we pull vertically. And we're pulling down. We're pulling those elbows towards the torso from a fully extended position. The long row, short row works extremely well, as do the pull-ups. I like the overhand pull-ups. Ian Clark says, Mike, what are your feelings towards minimalist shoes such as Vibrams for running training? Thanks. Ian, I am a minimalist when it comes to most of the training, not so much with running, just simply because of the force compression, the pounding, and I do believe that you need some sort of buffer unless you have trained your body, which takes years, because I've tried multiple times. It takes years to be a minimalist runner. As far as strength training, even squatting, and I know this is going to, rassle wrestle some feathers. But even with squatting, I like the minimalist version. I like to actually be barefoot. You'll see most of my training videos, I'm in socks. I want my feet to grip the ground. That's very important. I want to transfer force from the earth through the bottom of my feet, through my joints, through my legs, through the muscles, through my core, hip structure, and all the way up and through. That's very important. When you have that sheath of leather between your foot and the ground and the earth, you're actually dulling the force production. Also, from a safety perspective, there's a lots of roll in there. It's like standing on a stability ball. So the wearing shoes to close is good when you're trying to dull the force impact, but it's terrible when you're trying to generate force. Hey Yo says, how do you get bigger and stronger as well when lifting weights? I gain strength, but my size doesn't seem to change. I do max out sets, but that's it. So what you need to do, you need to be training with biomechanically correct form. That's very important. That's proper execution. And we train until technical failure. We do not train until muscular failure. And I know this is a massive departure from the common bro science lore, but technical breakdown is where we should stop, because the central nervous system then is shutting down in all but the most advanced of trainees, because the most advanced trainees, they can actually accomplish muscular failure and technical failure at the same time. That being said, hi, I'm Hey Yo. I would suggest multi-joint compound movements performed every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and train full body to enhance muscle protein synthesis. You should also be at a calorie surplus of 300 to 500 additional calories per day above what your expenditure is. And lastly, you should be focused on sleeping up to 9 hours per night. Jamie Lizaraga. Mike, if you could turn any certain food or dish that is considered shit for your body into one of the healthiest things to eat, what would it be? We've already done that. It is our lasagna. So we make an amazing, and it's in our Living Lean Cookbook Volume 2. We make an amazing spinach lasagna that is fucking bomb. I can bring it to my Sicilian grandmother's house if she were still around, and she would give compliments to the chef. It is amazing. Also, our power pasta is kick-ass. Our champion chili is kick-ass. Our power pancakes are kick-ass. We have so many amazing recipes. That's what we've done. I'm a former 282-pound East Coast Italian, right? So you better believe food matters, and we've deconstructed, reverse engineered many of these delicious recipes to make them healthy and clean. Shrunken Head says, will you comp me a Dolce hardback? I don't know what a Dolce hardback is. It sounds kind of kinky, and I could be into it, but I don't know. Are you on Tinder? What? Lig Morris says, how to prevent needing to poop during competition. Weird question. For example, during a powerlifting meet, the weigh-in is at 4:30, lifting starts at 10:30, but the meet doesn't finish till as late as 8 p.m. Is emptying the bowels likely the best way to lose extra pound or 4 with only a week before a competition? I see what you're saying. This is assuming you don't want to cut water. Well, you should be focused on digestive efficiency. And if you're following our 3 weeks to shredded program, which any competitive athlete should be following our 3 weeks to shredded program prior to competition, because we peak you out perfectly. We get you ready to compete. It just so happens that we also dry you out for the scale. Now, you don't have to employ the last 3 days of the water manipulation if you don't have to weigh in. If you do have to weigh in, then you should. If you don't, then you don't, but you should all be following 3 weeks to shredded. That being said, we are focused on digestive efficiency and digestive clearing. There's no problem taking a poops. In fact, our poops are so timely that we're pooping at almost the exact same time every single day, so it becomes very predictable. There is nothing like that morning deload. Cass says, hey, Mike, I enjoy doing jiu-jitsu and calisthenics, and I often end up with messed up joints, sometimes taking months away from training, mainly because I simply don't want to be a 60-year-old with messed up joints, so I make sure this shit needs to be healed up before I stress out again. My question is, do you give your athletes certain supplements or food for their joints? No, we do not. We are not fans of supplements. Most supplements are absolute garbage. What we do focus on is intelligent periodized training systems, proper rest, recuperation, regeneration, prehab and rehab protocols, as well as proper nutrition, year-round nutrition. That's all you need. I like the fact that when you get injured, you get out of training, but don't stay out of training for too long. Now, here's the thing. You need to be warming up and cooling down most efficiently. You need to be putting yourself yourself in positions to get better, not to get injured. There is wisdom in that. So you got to be careful, my friend. Madarukia. Should I take a DHT blocker for my hair loss, or will this block my natural testosterone? I don't really care so much about it blocking your natural testosterone. Taking DHT blockers can cause a myriad of health issues. A lot of these dudes who are taking Propecia, or whatever those things are, have developed serious cardiac issues. Just look at the pamphlets, do a Google search. I do not suggest it. Just come on home, baby. Let that hair go. If your hair, guys, listen. If your hair is starting to thin, shave that shit. Do not fucking hold on. Do not hold on to it. You look desperate. You look weak. You look lonely. You look scared. You look less confident when you are trying to hold on to those last little scraps of fuzz clinging to your fucking dome. Do not get rid of that. Shave it off. Embrace the shaved head life. You don't have to bick it. Just shave it down, and it's clean. It's tidy. It looks good. Let it go, my man. Will you make a vegan cookbook? Also, what's the secret natural electrolyte recipe? I will make a vegan cookbook. We're working on one right now, but all of our cookbooks contain vegan recipes, and nearly all of our recipes have the exact vegan options for you. If you're following our online diet and exercise program at thedolcediet.com, well, then you can choose our completely vegan option, our meat-eating savage omnivore option, a dairy-free, a gluten-free, or a nut-free option, or you can have a combination of all of those. So we make sure that we have a non-exclusionary diet system, so you can check that out. LPFM28 says, hey, Mike, is it true that if we take steroids under a doctor or pro bodybuilder's recommendation, there will be much less side effects or risk? No. And by the way, in your country of Kuwait, it is legal. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. No, there are downsides to everything. There's downsides to everything. So maybe if you're working with a doctor, then maybe you can mitigate some of the downsides, but there will be downsides. If you're listening to a bodybuilder, you're doing damage. There's no need to do the damage. There's no need to do that damage to yourself. You are doing damage to yourself. You are taking years off your life. Just admit that. Just understand that. If you're taking steroids and these performance-enhancing drugs, you will be, you hear me? You will be taking years off your life. You will be taking years off your life. Google Dallas McCarver, Google Rich Piana, Google Mike Matarazzo, Google Nasser El Sambadi, Google Andres Munzer, Google Mohammed Benaziza, and the list goes on and on and on. It's a sad, sad, sad thing. Philip Bozic says, Mike, can you make the Dolce Diet Coach certification an online program? We are working on that. We don't have a timeline yet or release. We're hoping sometime later on this year, but it is not right now. If any of you want to come to the Dolce Diet Certification and Nutrition Conference, though, you should come April 6th, 7th, and 8th here in Las Vegas. It will be amazing. Go to dolcedietshop.com to learn more. Become a Dolce Diet certified coach. Surround yourself with some of the most influential people in fitness. Become a part of one of the most respected teams in all of health and fitness. There's many upsides for you. Harash says, hello, sir. First of all, thank you. My question is, will you WhatsApp me? Harash or Harsh, I don't have a WhatsApp. My apologies. And other questions, how can I secure my lower back from injury? That's a good question, actually. You have to be careful. A lot of times lower back injuries come from weak abdominal structures. We really need to make sure that you are training your abdominals properly. That is, most people say core, and the core is a 360-degree bubble. It's a sphere that actually circles the midsection, the hip region, that goes down to the knees and goes up to the pecs. That's typically what we consider the core. You need to really focus on all of those areas, proper range of motion. A lot of time people don't train their core properly. I'm going to do some videos for you, Harsh, in the future. JP Onk says, I train Muay Thai from 4:30 to 8 and eat dinner at 8:30. Should I still have a post-workout snack or wait till dinner? I would say no. I would say have your, 4:30 to 8 as soon as I step off the mat. I'm not even stepped off the mat when I'm having my post-workout. So have your post-workout when you're still drippy and sweaty. Get a little bit of nutrients in, and we suggest whole food smoothies, and then from there, just go on to your regular meal. Delish. Jesse Wellman, I work out first thing in the morning, which is usually wake at 5, gym at 5:30, lift touch of cardio, home by 6:45. How would you schedule eating times to best suit? I'm 2 weeks into 3 weeks of shred and seeing awesome results and feel great. I've been going to the gym semi-fasted, coffee with MCTs when I do my snack. Then do my snack right after. Some protein and natural sugars, follow with my breakfast bowl. I think this is okay. I think that's perfect. That's exactly what I would do, Jesse. Now, me, I would probably do a little bit of some sort of carbohydrate. I perform better with carbohydrates in my gut, so I might do a little sprouted grain toast drizzled with some raw honey, maybe a little bit of almond butter on top, or I might have half a banana with a scoop of almond butter. Just a little bit of food in my belly makes me feel better. But great job, Jesse. And Jesse's following our the online version of 3 weeks to shred it and absolutely crushing it. Machine Gun Tongue. What's up, brother? High reps for endurance. Do they assist ligament and tendon strength, or is that overtraining? How much to do for health rehab work, and how often, etc.? Great question. And the answer is both. So high repetition work has a valid impact on ligament and tendon strength, as do heavy weights. So both. And that's why we suggest both. That's why we suggest high rep body weight work, which is very important. We talk about the 100 rep body weight squats, 100 rep push-ups. Very important. And, chin-ups to, sets of 10 to 20 dead hang full range chin-ups. We also talk about massively heavy weights, double, triple body weight deadlifts and squats. Body weight plus, 1.15 times body weight overhead military press for 3 reps. These are all things that we should be striving for as hardcore trainees and athletes. So that's a great question. But the best answer is both. Dan Langford, hey, Mike, I'm down from 210 to 185 and want to know, how do I avoid becoming skinny fat? Now, Dan, it is time to start adding lean muscle tissue. I would suggest our push-pull system or our beast mode. If you're in the online version of 3 weeks to shredded or living lean, you'll go through the onboarding process. As long as you say that you're trying to gain muscle, gain strength, you will be rolled into likely either our push-pull system or our beast mode system. And that will be adding pounds of lean muscle tissue while keeping that body fat low through our nutrition program. That's the goal here. So start training multi-joint compound movements, heavy, but heavy relative to your 1 rep max. Heavy would be somewhere to be between 70 and 90%. Hey, Mike, do you prefer calisthenics or weight training? How do you incorporate them into your routine? We prefer both, and we typically do both. Now, one of the things that I love to do is medicine ball squats. We have a 150-pound, 18-inch Kevlar medicine ball here. You want to talk about going fucking heavy but still doing body weight work? Gable grip that bastard, which is a big bear hug, and see how many nonstop body weight squats you can do. You're hitting it all. What blood test would you suggest requesting from my doctor during a checkup, and how often should they be done? You want to get your blood work done every 12 weeks. That would be ideal. Every 6 months would be like the maximum I would go. With that, you want to ask for what is known as a wellness panel for your age. That is ideal. Ask for a wellness panel here in the United States. I know where there is socialized medicine over in the UK, Australia, Canada, it's much more difficult. You guys cannot get preventative blood work, which is just asinine. It's silly, and it costs your healthcare system so much more money, but it's all about them making money. It's not about your health. So it's sick care, not health care up there. Here in the United States, it is, I do believe that we have the best healthcare system in the world. Don't believe the hype. I can go to my doctor right now, and for a copay, I can get a complete blood panel done. Not a problem. I can get an MRI. I can get a CAT scan. I can get into a cardiologist today. No problem. No problem, because of my health care. And I do pay for my health care, and I'm happy to out-of-pocket pay for my health care. But with that, I can get whatever the F I want done when I want it done, and the doctors are happy to get it done. I know I'm kind of ranting laterally here, so that's what I would request. It is a wellness test. Ask for a wellness test. I'm going to do a follow-up video. Actually, Dave Palumbo over at All RX Muscle did a really good video on, he broke down the blood work. It would take me about 20 or so minutes to do that, which I will do that here. But check out Dave's work over at RX Muscle. That was a good one too. Steve McGee, Mr. Dolce, always giving the fans more than he has to. I appreciate that. I'm down 14 pounds since the start of the new year and focusing on keeping it off. My question for you, I work till midnight, then back up at 6:45. to start getting the 4 kids ready for school while the wife is working. Is Liz out of the question until 9:30? I'm down 14 pounds. Love it. Okay. Work till midnight. Awake at 6:45. All right, so you're getting 6 3/4 hours sleep. Start getting the kids up, ready for school while the wife is working. So Liz is out of the question until 9:30. Is that okay? That's a long time to go. So I would say no, truly. That's actually... Let me back up on that, because if you're going to bed at midnight, you're probably going to be eating somewhere around 10 or 11 or even 12 o'clock or so. So, yeah, that would actually work, because now you're going to put your fast. It's only like a 12-hour fasted window maximum. So, yeah, I would say that works. That works. Keep me posted, Steve. I'd like to learn more as you go. Cody, hey Mike, what are your thoughts on stress-activated foods? The theory of Uri Hofmeckler, foods that cause your metabolism to accelerate by stressing the body via plant chemicals. Cheers from Australia. Cody, I haven't brushed up on Uri's work in quite some time, although I did read the Warrior Diet, maybe a decade plus or so ago, even more than that now. There's a lot of things that Uri talks about that I do not endorse, and I don't think he would even endorse them anymore. And there was a very, 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 very high-profile athlete that came to me after following the Warrior Diet, and she was having terrible results. She lost some weight in the beginning, and her body started to literally break down. Terribly break down. Her hair became frail and brittle, dark bags under her eyes. She would just get injured, and the injuries would linger for months. She got like cuts on her knuckles from hitting the bag, and the cuts just simply wouldn't heal. And she was following the Warrior Diet exactly as it was scripted. She couldn't figure it out, so we took her off of that. We started feeding her 6 meals per day of the world's most nutrient-dense ingredient, and her body immediately and rapidly recovered, and she lost weight and got even leaner. So take that for what it is. Red Star Thunder. Ooh, this is interesting. So I was practicing my kata the other day when these MMA punks were making fun of me. I challenged them all to a fight. When the first guy stepped forward, I jumped in the air and did a spinning tornado dragon kick as a showcase of what was to come. He and his friends immediately backed out. Do you think the next time I shouldn't showcase my skills to scare off would-be challengers and just let them find out the hard way by me crushing their skulls? Would that be more ethical? What would be more ethical? Well, Red Star Thunder, I would definitely love to see your spinning tornado dragon kick. I mean, can you blame these would-be MMA thugs for running away, turning tail, and definitely getting out of there? Because they knew what was about to happen. You were about to use your chi to run all over them. So, no, you did the right thing, sir. You and Steven Seagal should be probably a tag team, and it should probably be a reality show where you guys go around and you just dojo storm. You go to Jackson Winklejohn, you go to American Kickboxing Academy, you go to American Top Team, you go to Factory X, you go to Syndicate, you go to the Alliance, you go to all the top gyms, the top MMA gyms. And you guys just, and you just let these athletes know what the real martial arts skill is. So good for you to show such restraint, Red Star Thunder. Mike DeLuca. Mike, can you give us a once-over on Toiletries? I know many products contain some ingredients that can pose potential health issues. Toothpaste or recommend it and show us various products you use. I could do that. I don't have the products in front of me. On It makes a really good deodorant that I like. Also, Tom's finally came out with a good deodorant that actually works. Now, I don't wear deodorant. I'm not wearing deodorant right now. I hardly ever wear deodorant unless I have business meetings. I got to put on a fancy shirt, and I got to go sit around with the millionaires and billionaires. Then I'll put on some deodorant because I don't want to be that stinky gym guy. Not that I normally stink. I actually like my pheromones. Now, I'm a married man of over 18 years. My wife must like my pheromones because I walk around reeking of pheromones, and you would be surprised. Now, I don't know that I can say that I'm exactly Brad Pitt, but at the same time, I have never had a problem striking the or finding affection from the ladies, if you know what I'm saying. And part of that, I do believe, is the animalistic urge of attraction to my pheromones. It sounds weird. Now, I don't stink like some of these disgusting. I'm very hygienic. I shower constantly. Typically, I shower twice a day, but I typically don't use deodorant. I'm also, oral hygiene is huge. For oral hygiene, believe it or not, I do oil pull, which is I swish and swirl coconut oil in my mouth for typically 20 minutes per day. I also brush my teeth with coconut oil, and it does an extremely good job. I have no cavities. I have no gingivitis. I have no plaque issues. I've had a couple teeth knocked out through my years of fighting and just being a meathead, so I had no problems there. So deodorant, I use Onnit. I use Tom's, and we have a coconut oil based soap. I forget the name of it. I'll post it for you if you really care that much about it. But I'm very much a naturalist. I use aloe. We have, like 3 massive aloe plants at my house. I'm going to use aloe, on my skin, and coconut oil, and there you go. 019, hey Mike, question regarding the fact that current leading cardiologists recommend a plant-based diet for treating and even reversing heart disease plus longevity. The president of the American College of Cardiology is vegan. The only compound necessary for developing arteriosclerosis is exogenous cholesterol, which, as you know, is the only one found in animal products and is incredibly dense in eggs, a staple in lower carb living lean recipes. How can you still recommend meat, eggs, and some dairy, however minimal, for health and longevity? How can you completely condemn garbage like high fructose corn syrup and allow for equally processed and harmful foods like cheese? With respect, thank you. 019, I do appreciate your question. Thank you, but I do not completely agree with your science and your sourcing. There's multiple reasons for heart disease, multiple reasons, and scientists and even the top scientists all say that they're still not completely sure. There's a genetic factor that's given to that. Now, when it does come to animal products, you will notice that we do suggest, and we only suggest wild-caught animal products, and that's different. And that's completely different because the meat and the nutrient makeup of wild-caught animal products is completely different than that of conventional products. Conventional products, I agree, many conventional products are bad and can be bad, but it's typically because of the way that the animal itself was reared, was raised. It alters their genetic makeup. It alters their nutrient composition. So we are a minimalist when it does come to animal products, and I think I'm one of the few nutrition coaches out there that is still a meat eater that does recommend such a low intake of animal products. And we are a very, 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 very high plant-based. 90+% of our meals, of our ingredients, are from plant-based sources. I don't think you'll find anyone in my position who works with athletes at the level that I do who suggests that. Now, what I will push back to you, and I would say that you're wrong with the information that you're putting out there, is we look at the different blue zone territories around the world. What are blue zone territories? Blue zone territories are areas in which heart disease is at the very lowest, cancer is at the very lowest, all-cause mortality is at the very lowest of the entire population. These are not vegan communities. These communities are omnivores, and that blows much of the vegan conversation, the vegan argument out of the water, and the vegans don't talk about that. And I love the vegans, and I'm not bashing the vegans, but what we do is we look at all of the science. I do not see a direct correlation between a 100% vegan lifestyle and the reduction of all-cause mortality. Now, a largely and predominantly plant-based diet, yes, absolutely. But I do not see why the reduction of 4 ounces of wild-caught salmon will give somebody a heart attack. I do not see why the reduction of 1 to 2 free-range eggs per day will cause a heart attack. The data just is not there. Now, there's multiple health benefits that can be and will be derived from that. So what we try and do is we work with scores of vegans. I mean, we work with a lot of vegans here. I mean, so don't get me wrong. I'm not pushing. We don't push anybody anywhere. What we do is we provide the best information and the best resources for people based upon your philosophy. We do not try to change people's philosophies. We meet you where you are and we walk with you. And what we've done and why we are so successful, we've done an amazing job of improving the life of every one of our clients, of improving the health of every one of our clients. That's our goal. That's our goal here. My goal is not to change you from an omnivore to a vegan or from a vegan to an omnivore. You tell me your moral, your ethical, your philosophical backgrounds, how you would like to eat, and my team will construct you the best nutrition program based upon that. And we use all science. So I hope that helps. Ruben says, hey, Mike, if I sleep 6 hours in the night and 2 hours later in the day, is that the same as 8 hours full? It's not the same, but it's not bad. You're actually doing really good. It's not the same, though, so don't get it twisted. And what they say is if you sleep 6 hours or less per day, it's as if you did not sleep at all. And I agree that. Name your top 5 best and worst fitness YouTubers. Well, here's what I'll do is I'll name as many as I can think of, and you can determine whether they are the best or they are the worst. RX Muscle, Louis Marco, Thomas DeLauer, Dr. Eric Berg, Jason Blaha, Jerry Ward, Alan Roberts, Every Damn Day Fitness, Jeff Cavallari's athlean-x, my buddy Joe DeFranco's got a good YouTube channel that I enjoy, Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro. I think that was 11. So now you can take those and you can lump them into whatever category, best or worst, but it's probably not what you think. Probably not what you think. Hey, Mike, when I do my list, I'm very hungry. Can I take my last meal just before sleeping? A big one? Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do typically. No problem with that. Just make sure your fasting window is large enough to be fully fasted, which it should be. Like if you're only sleeping 6 hours per night, like Ruben had said, then I wouldn't do a massive meal wake up because you're likely not going to be fully fasted. What is the best way to train for explosive strength without getting injured? Lower weights, proper form. Lower weights, so 30 to 70% of 1RM with proper form. Multiple sets, I'd say 10 sets of 3s would be ideal. Tulio, rotisserie chicken is cheap and delicious, but it is Dolce approved. Salsa chicken, turkey, uncured or never. Thanks. Rotisserie chicken, depending on the chicken. Again, Tulio, we are looking for wild caught to the best of your ability. Wild caught. That is key. I am not walking into a local grocery store and grabbing one of those disgusting rotisserie chickens. Oh my God, that is disgusting death. And yeah, I'm very much of a vegan philosophy on much of that. Now, if we are respecting the animal, we're respecting the life, and it was actually procured in a non-anxiety induced situation, running around freely and happily, and then just, departed from consciousness due to an arrow, then that's something that I would be putting into my my freezer or my fridge or, eventually my belly. You didn't close the door a few years back about one more fight. Door still open? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking on the door. I'm not trying to walk through the door, but the door is unlocked, I should say. The door is unlocked. I have not locked that door. But I got to tell you, man, my life is absolutely amazing. And in order for me to walk through that door, it's got to be the right event, the right opponent, and definitely the right amount of money. Because, I don't need it. And that's the thing. I don't need it. But I train, man. You guys see me. I fucking train. Not many people who are in the shape that I am. You didn't close it. Okay, I answered that. Simon Quinn, that was from James Coughlin. Simon Quinn, would you come out of retirement? Again, it's funny. That's weird. Would you come out of retirement for a one-fight offer? It would be a great personal challenge for yourself and would be interesting. Follow your day-to-day journey to prepare for that fight. I'm sure you could raise a lot of money for charity in the process. I would, especially if it was like I would fight Chris Brown in a fucking heartbeat. And we would do it for charity. I would fight Chris Brown because he's supposed to fight that other fucking super skinny dude, and they both pussed out. What happened with that? So as somebody like that, I would love, and definitely if we could do it for charity, then shit, why not? That'd be fun. I don't know Chris as a person, but I do know what he's about, and somebody like that I could enjoy training for. That would be fun, and then getting in there because fighting is violent. It is violent, and you have to be able to express violence in a beautiful artistic form. I do have that in me 100%. I certainly do. But at the same time, I don't have the need or drive to really express that publicly. I do that privately here with my training partners and my teammates and my friends and just different things that I do in my life in a very positive manner. But yeah, so I got to get paid. I got 2 little girls that that are going to be going to MIT, Harvard, Stanford, Oxford. They're going to be going to some of the best colleges in the world because that's the expectation in the Dolce household, and they're already going down that path. Most likely they will have scholarships, but you better believe daddy ain't fucking fighting for free because daddy has worth and daddy has value, just like each of you guys. Do not undervalue your true worth, whether it's talking to a possible romantic partner, whether it's interviewing for a possible job, no matter what it is in life, do not underscore your true value. And I know what my true value is. One table Clifton Burkhammer says one tablespoon of grass-fed butter per day. No other dairy. That's not you. I'm making fun of myself there, Clifton, not you. So 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter per day. No other dairy. You think that's too much? No way. I have over it. I probably have 2 or 3 tablespoons of grass-fed butter per day. Mike, who's the best pure athlete you've ever worked with? Great question. I would Quentin Rampage Jackson. And I've said it for years. Quentin Rampage Jackson is the greatest pure athlete I've ever worked with. This man is so talented. The things that he could do without ever training were absolutely amazing. And I think through the years, injury eroded some of that athleticism. Also, Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen is a guy who could do a standing flip without even trying, without even twitching. I've seen Chael do some things in the gym that I've never seen a human being do before or after. Also, Mirsad Bektik. Mirsad Bektik is on the level of athleticism as George St. Pierre, but Mirsad carries more violence within him, which is beautiful. Also, Ronda Rousey, who is just, an Olympic judo bronze medalist and also a multi-time, the most successful female mixed martial artist of all time. So I've been blessed. But I would put Rampage because Rampage was doing this at a time well before science had even caught up to the sport of MMA, specifically in his neck of the woods. And he was a stellar athlete. Kevin Blakely. So I have a superstar's metabolism, and it takes eating a ton of food for me to put on any mass. I try to stay away from unhealthy foods when I can, but which do you find more important for building muscle? Meeting the calorie count or focusing on quality? Quality over everything. And that's why you should be on the lookout for our squats and steak program that is going to be coming here very soon. That being said, quality over everything. Quality over quantity all day long. That's the most important thing. Jack Kroll says, hey, Dolce, I like this girl in school. What should I do? Jack, my man. Now, Jack, you didn't say what school, so I'm going to assume that you are in college. I'm going to assume that you are over 18. So I'm going to assume that you're over 18 here, and I'm going to speak in hypotheticals now. So hypothetically, if you like a girl in school, what you need to do is let her know through your actions. You need to be a man of action, but a man of confidence, also a man of compassion. You need to let her know that you like her, but you do not need her. And what does that do? And that's not disrespectful to her. That lets her know that you are an independent being that stands completely on his 2 feet, and you do not need anybody in the world, and that is fucking sexy. That is powerful. You beat to your own drum. In my experience, women love leaders. Women love men who do not care what the world thinks of them. Women love men who are kind, who are respectful, who are aggressive in their pursuit of what is morally and ethically correct. Women love men who are just as intelligent as they are athletically or physically gifted. What I'm saying to you, Jack, is you need to be a well-rounded person who is pursuing your own personal goals, making your life better, regardless of what the world thinks and regardless of what this girl might think about you. That's what you need to do, but you need to tell her. You need to walk up to her, and I'll use my wife as an example. Hey, Brandy, I'm Mike. How are you? I'm good. I like that dress, shirt, pocketbook you're wearing. Little bit of some sort of common ground compliment. Oh, thank you. I'd like to take you out tomorrow. Boom. I'll pick you up at 8. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. I am so lucky that you even walked over to me, Mike. No, that's not actually the way it goes. It's not the way it goes. But what you need to be a man of confidence. You need to be a man of respect. And you need to show patience. Do not be the fly that's buzzing around the hot chick. Be the guy that's walking away from the hot chick. That's the guy that she's going to pay attention to. I should actually do a much longer video on this. I don't know if I'm doing justice. But I think I said what in the very beginning is the most important thing here. You need to be an independent, confident young man. You need to be doing your own thing regardless of what the world thinks about you. Now, you need to be fucking clean, my man. You need to be hygienic. Everything about you needs to be tight and controlled and orderly, right? You can't just be at the, a victim to the world, because that is not fucking sexy at all. You need to be a man in every sense of the word. And I know this feminist movement and all that stuff is out there. And you need to respect the rights of women. You need to respect the space of women. You need to respect the decision of women. You need to be a protector of women. But at the same time, you need to embrace your manhood. You need to embrace who you are at your core. And in that is the fine line. Don't be one of these fucking bleeding heart white knights that run around screaming about women rights as they're walking around with pussy hats on their fucking head. No chick is gonna fuck that dude. No way. And that dude's only doing it because he's trying to get laid by these girls. These women are too smart. They see right through that scumbag. What you need to do is be 100% who you are and protect the rights of the women in your manly way. Protect the opinion of the women. Protect the space and the boundaries of these women. That's what you need to do. You don't need to tell them what to do. You don't need to tell them what to do. You don't need to tell them what you are going to do. You just need to simply be out there and doing it. Is that helpful? I think that's helpful. Get out there and do it, my man. Axe Hero, hey Mike, when did you lose your virginity? What kind of question is that? My God, I am a married man, happily married man, so I do not discuss such things out of respect for my family and my wife, and I have 2 young daughters at home. So come on, don't ask such questions. Nick L, 20% body fat to 10% body fat, possible from now until June 1st, 2018. I would say, yeah, you could lose 10% body fat, but I don't know what your weight you're starting at. Are you starting at 400 pounds where you have to lose 40 pounds? Are you starting at 200 pounds where you have to lose 20 pounds? Losing 20 pounds between February and June, yeah, that's very possible. Hey, Mike, when I began going to the gym, I used very poor training techniques and form for around 4 years, which resulted in size gain but very little strength gain. So I'm pretty weak for my size. What should I do to build up my strength? Multi-joint compound movements, approximately 80% of 1 rep max, focused on 4 sets of 5 repetitions. We want to squat. We want to hinge. We want to squat. We want to deadlift. We want to overhead press. We want to bent over row. Those are the things we need to be focused on primarily. Ray says, what's the latest I should eat breakfast? Sometimes I work late and sleep in, and I have a late breakfast around 10, 10:30. What's the latest I should eat breakfast? I work late and sleep in. That's fine. I don't really care. What we do, we work with a lot of law enforcement, a lot of emergency responders, a lot of service industry workers who have these crazy, crazy schedules. All we tell them is your clock starts running when you wake up. That's where your breakfast begins. It's when you wake up. So just go from there. Bo Swim says, how do I structure a workout program? I would go to the DolceDiet.com right now, and I would join our 12-week, 3 weeks to shredded plus living lean bundle. In that, you get every meal, every recipe, every ingredient, every workout set, rep, and video tutorials on how to do these properly. You get a leaderboard that you can see where you fit amongst all those on the planet inside the system. It is one of the most effective, most comprehensive programs on the market, and by far one of the most successful. Also, Brian Strickler says, Mike, can I have $100? Well, if you're talking in dollars, you can have $100 if you go out and you work and earn $100, if you produce products or services that are worth $100. But why $100? Why not $1,000? Why not $100,000? Why not $1 million? Why not $10 million? Certainly your worth as a human being is worth much more than $10 million for the ingenuity that you have hidden deep within inside you. What you need to do, Brian Strickler, is you need to find a way to unlock that ingenuity, unlock your full potential in a manner that serves the population, to provide products or services that will change people's lives. So in that, you do not need to worry about $100. You do not need to worry about $100,000. You will be making more money than you ever thought possible. Then you could be generous and start sharing that money with other people around you so they can then invigorate their lives. So I hope this was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the Q&A. You guys have been amazing. Hopefully you guys have stuck around for all of them. I tried to run through them as fast as possible. I get a little mumble mouth sometimes, but I think I had some good information there. If you don't already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And when you do, there's a little bell. Click the bell so you're notified when we post new videos. We post a new video every day. And I answer all comments within the first 24 hours of each video posting. Also, make sure you like this video because that means you like me and I like that, and that makes me feel good. If you don't already subscribe to our podcast, make sure you subscribe to the Mike Dolce Show podcast on iTunes. It is awesome. We always have great high-level guests that come and spit serious knowledge. And then finally, 3 Weeks to Shredded is the most effective weight loss program on the market. You can lose 21 pounds in 21 days. We have a 100% success ratio for over 2 decades working with the world's greatest athletes. That is at thedolcediet.com. We have a 4-week and 12-week version, 3 Weeks to Shredded, or the 3 Weeks to Shredded plus Living Lean bundle, which really focuses on adding muscle mass and strength, recompositioning the body while keeping that waist nice and tight. And I believe that is it. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boom!